Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Charlie Herman and welcome back to Charlie's Cruise Tips and Reviews. Sorry it's been so long since my last video. That's been going on since then with work and a couple of holidays and everything. So I've been a bit busy. I meant to do another video in between this one and the last one. Unfortunately, I just didn't get a chance to do it. Okay, so as I said in my last video, that was just an overview of the Carnival Celebration, and this video would be a full review of the Carnival Celebration ship itself and this cruise, which was a Western Caribbean cruise compared to my cruise right before, which was an Eastern Caribbean cruise. This is going to be more of a review of the ship itself and the cruise itself than just an overview of the ship. Okay, so the Carnival Celebration is their Carnival's newest ship. It came into service in November. That's why I didn't want to do a full review in December because we were only on its third or fourth sailing, and I didn't really think it'd be fair to do a complete and total review of a ship on its fourth sailing, especially when I'd be going back in the ship 3 months later. So that's why I'm doing the full review now. So the ship itself, it's the biggest ship in Carnival's fleet. It's a massive ship. There is plenty to do on the ship. You will not get bored. My friend and I have been on the ship twice now. We still haven't done everything there is to do on board the ship. So that just proves how much there is to do on board. But you still have not, you've been on the ship twice and you still have not done everything there is to do on board the ship. The cruise director, the Flying Scotsman, Chris Williams. I only saw him once on board the ship. He was all over the ship, but I only got to see him once. He's a nice guy. He seems to really enjoy his job. I did see though a couple of staff members, fun squad members, should I say, who I saw back in December. I saw Gabby again. I saw Sarah again. They both remembered me, mostly because in my last video I displayed my Carnival Championship belt. I brought it again with me this time, and they remembered me from having the belt last time, so they did remember me. They're still great as always. We had a lot of fun. The Mega Deck Party, which is now, they changed the names in the Mega Deck Party. It's now the White Hot Party. So it's still the same party, only it has a new theme to it. Carnival also has an 80s party on board on this ship, which is starting to go fleet wide, the 80s party, but that was wonderful. So the Fun Squad was very, how can I say, involved in on the ship, on the sailing. They were all over the place. They all know exactly what they're doing. They're doing a wonderful job, and the Fun Squad should just keep doing what they're doing because they keep getting better and better, especially with it being on a new ship like this from back in December when I was on it, when they were just getting used to ship, to now they know exactly where everything is, what's going on, and they're just doing a fantastic job. In the main dining room, compared to last time, everything was a bit slow last time. As I said, everyone's getting used to the ship. It was only its fourth sailing. The main dining room, we had our food in no less than about, I'd say about our appetizer no less than 10 minutes after, or should I say started no less than 10 minutes after ordering it. Our main course is almost no more than half an hour after ordering it, if that long, sometimes like even less than half an hour. And dessert was almost about 10 minutes after we finished our main course, but also they gave us plenty of time with desserts and showtime. Now they don't do showtime every night on board the ship as they used to do. However, when they do it, showtime is fantastic, and everyone should stay for showtime if you're in the main dining room. I do not know if they do showtime or not at your time dining, but when you have the seated dining, the late seating or the early seating, they still do showtime. I don't know about the at your time dining, but they do it at the time seatings. Now, the piano bar is where I spent a lot of my time at night on board with Tatsu. She's wonderful. She has a wide repertoire of songs she can play, and anything you do request if she doesn't know, she'll try and learn it before the end of the cruise. A couple of people did that. She didn't know the song when they requested. She tried to learn it by the end of the cruise, and a couple of times she was able to play it. So that was great on her. In the piano bar, you had Sasha behind the bar and Nadia as the bar server. They both remembered me from December. That proves how much time I spent on board the ship in December, or should I say on board in the piano bar in December, because they both remembered me, and it was great to see them. he knew exactly what he was going to order for drink before I even ordered it. So that's great on them that they have that type of memory that they remember the guests and remember what they like to drink. Um, Another thing I want to talk about this ship was the entertainment. I thought was a little bit. Well, I didn't go to Showtime. I'm not much of a big Showtime guy. I did go to the comedy one time, and the comedian was very, very funny. Actually, hilarious, should I say? Like to tend to spend more time in the piano bar on nights when there is piano bar. Um, and that's about it. The piano bar is my spot at night. What can I say? I like to be there. I like to hang out. I like to sing. I like to have a couple of drinks and just chill out and relax. The ship itself, the Serenity area was spotless almost the entire time. They do a really good job of keeping anyone under the age of 21 out of there. So even if you're 18, 19 years old, they make sure you're not in there. So if you want to go to adult only place on board where it's only 18, where it's 21 and over, go to the Serenity. It was clean, it was spotless. There were no one under the age of 21 there at all. And when we went, it was the middle of spring break, especially in the state of Florida, so you had a lot of kids on board, and you didn't see any one of them near Serenity. So if you want an adults only area on board the ship, definitely hit up the Serenity area. Also, another thing on board, the pools and the hot tubs, they were all very clean. I didn't get to spend a lot of time at the summer landing or the main pool for that reason. I said there were a lot of families, a lot of kids on board. I wanted to be in an adult only area, so I spent the majority of the time at the Serenity area. However, when I was in the other end of the ship, I believe it was at Summers Landing, which is the infinity pool. I spent some time there. I had some drinks outdoors in the bar. It was very, very nice. So if you want to go into the infinity pool, if you are ever on the ship, definitely hit up Summer's Landing. It does tend to get crowded for that reason that it is the infinity pool. So keep that in mind. Between all the bars on board, all the clubs, all the discos, I only went into Limelight once. It just wasn't my crowd and not my type of music. But between all the clubs and bars on board, there's plenty to do. I recommend Havana Bar. I recommend the Miami 850 Bar, where my friend Diana, she's a bartender there. It was good to see her again. Definitely hit up the 850 Bar, the Miami Slice Pizza. I probably went there 2, 3 times, probably more than that on board for snacking between lunch and dinner. Guy Ferrari's Burger. I think I went there about 5 out of the 7 days on board for lunch. So you definitely want to hit up Guy Ferrari's if you want a burger for lunch. The Lidl Marketplace has a good menu for lunch and for breakfast. However, for lunch, I just felt like a burger most of the time because for anyone who knows me when I'm on vacation, I'm just simple. I like to have my burgers, I like to have my beer, I like to have my fries, and it's just a quick, easy lunch, and it's just very, very good, the Guy Ferrari. So if you're on board any Carnival ship for that matter, you want a good burger for lunch, hit up Guy Ferrari's. We also went to Pig and Anchor the first day of the cruise for lunch, the barbecue restaurant. It was very good chicken, very good. Uh, I believe it was ribs or it was beef. I don't remember what it was, but it was very good with the chicken. I had the pork sausage there. That was wonderful. So I just recommend. That's another place to go to on board if you want to avoid the main buffet for lunch. The Pig and Anchor's barbecue restaurant, that's a good place to go. The Blue Iguana Tequila, uh, Blue Iguana for lunch one day if you want Mexican for lunch. There's usually a line there, but it's worth it as far as I'm concerned if you want something different for lunch from the main Lidl buffet. Another thing I saw on board this cruise was the our stateroom steward was like a ninja. He was in and out. We go to breakfast, the room would almost be done if we went right back at a certain time, and if not, definitely on port days. We went out to the port, by the time we got back, everything was done. Sometimes it was done by the time we got back from breakfast. Sometimes it was done a little bit later, especially on sea days, maybe a little bit later. But other than that, our stateroom steward was great, and we gave him a very nice tip in addition to what else we paid. But it was just he did a wonderful job, and I wish I could remember his name because I only saw him a few times because he was, like I said, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but did a wonderful job. Okay, so let's review the itinerary. This was a Western Caribbean cruise. We went from Miami to Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan Island, Honduras. Now, this was a Western Caribbean cruise. In Cozumel, we did an excursion, which I normally don't do in Cozumel, but this time we decided to do an excursion. We first went downtown for some shopping, went to a couple of places to shop downtown, got a couple of gifts for some family and friends on the sport. It was very nice, took some beautiful pictures. It was about 80 degrees and sunny, so I got a nice little suntan that day. Unfortunately, this is the first time I think in all my trips to Cozumel I did not have time to make it to Senior Frogs because of the excursion. So when I'm back in December, because December is a Western Caribbean itinerary as well on NCL, but a bit different than what we did this time, I will most definitely make it to Senior Frogs next time. The reason we did not have time to make it to Senior Frogs is after the shopping, we went to the beach. We went to a beach club, and it's going to be about like an hour and a half, 2 hours on the beach there. So we just were able to sit back, relax, had a good time. When we were in Costa Maya, we did not do an excursion, but we did lay out by the pool. I did not actually go in the pool that day, but in Costa Maya, waited until we got back on the ship to use the pool. But in Costa Maya, basically, if you've been to Costa Maya before, if you get a drink, buy a drink like a yard or a glass of whatever, you can sit in one of those chairs by the pool and just hang out all day. And that's what I did. I got a drink by the pool. I got a yard. I forgot what I got, but it was a wonderful drink. And I just hung out, relaxed, got some sun, then went back on board the ship for lunch and jumped in the pool. In Roatan Island, Honduras, it's the same as I always did. You just get a chair by the beach, you hang out, you had a few drinks. I had chicken fingers and fries for lunch, just laying out on the beach. I got my obligatory drink at Fat Tuesdays. And as you know, if you've gone to Roatan Island, Honduras before, there are two ports there. You have Cox and Hull, which is the main port, which is NCL, Royal Caribbean, MSC, and all those grand ships. And then you have Mahogany Bay, which is specifically built for Carnival Corp grand ships. Carnival, Princess, Costa, P&O, Holland America, Aida, the German one, and and Seabourn Legend. Yes, Seabourn. So all Carnival Corp ships are using that port, and then all the other ones are using Cox and Hull, which is the main port, which I believe is not nearly as nice as Mahogany Bay. Carnival did a really good job building that cruise port when they did build it. So, in conclusion, this was a wonderful cruise. The staff on board did a wonderful job. They could not do it much better for you. Unfortunately, the one thing we didn't get to do on this ship compared to the last time was the bonsai teppanyaki hibachi girl one day for lunch. We waited too long to make a reservation, and we ended up on a wait list and just couldn't get a reservation. But in all, it was a wonderful ship. The staff on board did a wonderful job. I met some nice people on board. I really haven't kept in touch with any of them, except for the group of friends I was with, because on this cruise I was with friends. So to go out and meet other people and make new friends like I most normally do, I wasn't an urgent matter to have people to hang out with on board because I was with my friends. I had a wonderful time, and so I did not meet too many people on board this ship like I normally did, but it was a wonderful cruise. I had a wonderful time. The ship is outstanding. The crew was outstanding. There are a ton of activities, and I definitely give this cruise a 10 out of 10. I recommend to anyone who's interested in going on Carnival. Even if you're not a huge mega ship person, I still recommend the XO class, the Mardi Gras, the Celebration, eventually the Jubilee, because Carnival did just got it right as I did thought they would. They got it right with these class ships, and everything's easy to find. It's a more contemporary color scheme on board the ship compared to some of the older ships. As you know, with the older color scheme, it's more contemporary, it's more brighter, it's more wide open, and I can't say anything more about this cruise. It's just a wonderful cruise, and I recommend this ship to anyone. Thank you very much for watching my video, and I'll be back as soon as possible. Thank you.